Hey everybody, and welcome back to some more Game Dev Tycoon. Not Indie Game Dev Studio or Indie Game Tycoon or whatever the hell I was calling it last time around. More Game Dev Tycoon, and I'm psyched. We got a lot of stuff to work on, primarily getting a lot of research done, but more importantly getting some training done for our people. I really want to see these guys kind of crank up their training a little bit. I did read your, one of you guys had voted it up, one of your comments, where it said get some training done, then research some 3D engine stuff. So that's what I'm going to do. But we're going to get her training first, spend that time hopefully putting it to good use. It looks like we're going to be getting research points for saying make me think, which is good to know. I would like to get her technology and speed up, and of course game dev kind of stuff going as well. While she's doing that, let's get some research done. And one of the things I want to get done, actually, I have no research points, so I actually need to be cranking out a game pretty much as soon as possible. Let's take a look at our game history, and we did do Decisive Fantasy 2, which is going to be really good. I'm glad that Decisive Fantasy 2 was kind of our savior. We have Decisive Fantasy 1, right? We did make that game, didn't we? Yeah. And it was a 7. So Decisive Fantasy 2, much bigger, much better, and much more exciting of a sequel for us as a company. And if you hear me kind of leaning away from the mic, it's because my cat is being bad, and I need to actually punish him by spraying him. So let's take a look. Let's develop a new game here. Let's pick a new topic, and let's try for let's do MCOM here. This is going to be E for everybody. This is going to be a strategy game for the PC, an alien strategy game for the PC with the MyTech 2 engine. We're going to call this MCOM, or actually somebody wanted to name it XCOM. So we'll do that. XCOM, E for everybody for the PC. It's going to be 2D. I mean, the original was 2D as well. It was kind of a 2D isometric kind of thing with some minor 3D, but gameplay is going to go down. The story and quest is going to be minimal. No really need for a linear story nor a gamepad. The engine is going to be up there. And we're just going to kind of do that. Now, one of you guys had said or asked why I don't just max out everything, because the game takes that into effect. Basically, if I try to spend equal amounts of time on maxing everything, I'm never going to get there. Like, it's never going to be designed perfectly at all levels. It's going to end up making the quality of product worse than if I focus on certain aspects of the game. So the AI needs to be exceptional. Dialogue, not so much. And the level design, yeah, it can be about there. We're going to be looking at hopefully making this good. Boss, it seems that quite a few players use illegal copies of Decisive Fantasy 2. I've managed to identify some of them. We could either sue them to defend our copyright or send them warnings to ask them to stop. What do you want to do? Now, we could sue them and make some money off of it, but I'm going to warn them first. I'm going to say, please stop. Warning them is going to give us more fans by saying, hey, please stop, you know. We're not going to sue them right off the bat, but if they continue and whatnot, we'll sue the crap out of them. Let's sound, world design. Yeah, that looks good. You know what? Sound can go down a little bit. World design can crank it up a little bit. I think like that. That'll look good. And this isn't going to be a phenomenal game. I don't expect this to be an amazing game. What I want to do out of it is grab research points out of this. That's the idea. At the same time, wow, we've actually got a good amount of design points in total. Mathis Games has recently sent warnings to several players using illegal copies of the Decisive Fantasy 2. Piracy is an increasing problem in the industry. Some companies invest a lot of money and effort to fight piracy, while others argue that it's better to take a more relaxed approach and invest in better games instead. We've gained 259 fans, so I think that was worth it. We gained a bug there, and we got rid of the bug at the same time. Whoop, we've got a lot of design still popping up, which is really good. But I think we can comfortably finish this game and see exactly how well this is going to do. Games, aka E3 is coming around, and by having our company there, we can gain fans and hype. We'll worry about that momentarily. So, new record for technology, new combo, new topic, but it wasn't a great combo, which is unfortunate. But we did level up in our engine, so that's good. Research, multiplayer, that's also really good. Let's see how well this ends up selling for us. Excuse me. Let's see how XCOM does. Fingers crossed, it's going to do really well. I'll take that. I'll take that any day of the week. A 7. More on technology. Could have been more. And another 6. Shows potential. So something to revisit for showing potential. The hope is that we're still going to sell really well. So we're going to have her. Actually, we're going to have me do a little bit of research in 3D graphics. We're going to want 3D graphics pretty much as soon as we can. And we're going to have her training. I would like to see Make Me Think Code Incomplete technology. I'm hoping that's what that'll be. Code Incomplete. We'll see. And XCOM is selling relatively well. So with that being said, I'm actually okay with it. As long as it nets us a profit, that's all I care. And with me doing some research, things are going to look pretty good. I want to make sure that we're not overworking her either. If we're overworking her, she's not going to be as efficient. But I do want to slap down some training on both of these guys as much as I can. So we're going to do another session of training called Game Dev Gems and get her design up. We're going to also train myself in Game Dev Gems. We're going to get both of our design up because with a good design comes good games in general, which will net us, again, more profit. So 37.5, 39.5 kind of, or 38,000 in sales, not bad. So we can go to E3 if we want. We can set up a small booth. We can get a medium booth or a huge booth. Let's go. We could not go at all, but let's go. Let's see what this is going to give us. Let's get a small booth, just kind of go there and see what this ends up doing for us as a company. Once the training is done, too, I want to see what it's going to take for medium games. We made a profit, I think. A little bit of a profit off of that, which is good. Do some research. I'm curious what marketing is going to be really useful. But medium games. And open world. We're going to want some open world as well. But let's get medium games kind of researched. Medium games is going to allow us to make, basically, allocate how we're going to distribute our employees, what aspects we want them working on. There is a clear trend towards strategy games recently. Alright, let's see what this is going to do for us. I don't know what this number means. I'm assuming number of people who visit our booth. And it says XCOM, I'm assuming because that's our most recent game. That's not a lot of people. We had 46,000 people visit our booth this year. We didn't make it to the top 100 booths this year. Once we gain more fans, I'm sure we will. So popular strategy right now, popular genre is strategy. And with that being the case, hi Mathis, I followed the progress of Mathis games for a while. It seemed with your recent expansion, you started developing larger games. Larger games deserve to be seen by more people, and this is where a publisher can come in handy. A publisher will market and publish your game around the world. They will also help fund development. In return, they keep most of the profits, but since the game will sell a lot more, it's worth it. I can put you in touch with some publishers so you can look at some of the available contracts. Just let me know. Find publishing contracts has been unlocked. So we can now actually work with a publisher to work a publishing deal. So it's basically using a publisher is a great way to get your games in front of a large audience, which in turn helps to grow your fan base. Once your fan base is big enough, you can self-publish for larger games without the need for a publisher. For medium games, you should aim to have at least 100,000 fans before you publish them yourself. Noted. To use a publisher, you need to sign a contract. The contract will dictate what games you need to create. Pay attention to all the details, most importantly, the minimum score that the contract dictates. If the game you release does not meet the minimum score, you will have to pay a penalty, which can be costly. It is also important to pay attention to the royalty rate. The higher the rate, the more money you will make. So this is basically saying, publishers kind of dictate the games they want to release. In turn, they will pay you to make that kind of game. So let's take a look at what we have for a vocabulary RPG, a dance any genre. What's this one? A prison RPG, Activisionaries, basically Activision, Deep Platinum or Platinum Games, Activision Blue Bit Games, vocabulary adventure. The only one worth potentially doing would be maybe the prison RPG. But I don't know if I want to risk it yet. It's going to cost us upfront $105,000. I don't know. I'm going to wait right now. I'm going to wait and I'm going to start developing a new game. And what I wanted to make, was another fantasy, strategy game. And it's going to be a Warcraft spin-off, obviously. We're going to call it, Crafting War. I like it. Crafting War for the PC, because why not? And, of course, My Tech 2. E for everybody, as always. With our best graphics that we can potentially afford. Fantasy strategy game. No need for any of that. We want gameplay to still be. We'll crank down the engine a little bit. Story and quest should go up. There we go. Let's see what we can pop here. I'm very curious how this is going to go. We have hype behind this. I'm not quite sure why. Too hype. We can research sequels. Actually, that's incredibly good. Something we definitely want to do. Dialogue could go up a little bit. Level design could come down a little bit. Not by a ton, but just enough. I want to make sure that, again, our focus is mostly on gameplay and AI, especially in a strategy game. And in a strategy game with no multiplayer right now, it's kind of important that the AI is going to be top-notch to kind of sacrifice that multiplayer aspect that we could be bringing in at some point. World design is going to go down, sound is going to go up, but graphics are going to stay kind of the primary, because when you're playing an RTS, you want to see some type of gore and blood. You want that to be kind of the main draw here. We have a 9 hype. Oh my god. Why do we have so much hype? Technology is good. Technology is really good. We're still popping up all kinds of little gems here, which is good. We're going to let it keep going. Anything else? Are you guys good? Done? I'm about to release it. Done. Alright. Let's see. New records. New combo, great combo, and a trend match. Let's see what happens. Day and night cycle. So much to research. It's crazy. Let's see what happens. I'm just waiting for the reviews before we do anything. Crafting War came in, and we are looking at 8. I will take it. Another 9, one of the best. Beautiful. With the hype behind it as well. This game should sell. This is a game that should sell nicely. Alright, let's take a look what happens when we finish it up. Today, as announced there, the play system. The PlayStation's being basically been announced. We knew that was coming. Crafting War is selling nicely. Not exceptionally well like Decisive Fantasy did, but still nicely enough. Game design for pirates. I don't know what that means, but let's do it. Let's see what that ends up doing.